It's time for our big interview. We are bringing in one of those star freshmen. Dylan Harper is ready to join us now. Dylan, when was the first time you remember watching a Rutgers basketball game?
First time watching, I think, probably my brother's freshman year is probably like the real first time. But a game I can remember is when I think they played Indiana at the Garden. My brother's senior year. I was like sixth grade. Corey Sanders, all them guys was there, and they got that big win. That was the first ever moment.
How many of your brother's Rutgers games did you go to?
I went to every home game basically, except for the Purdue game when he hit the game winner. That's the only game I missed.
What are you talking about? Why'd you miss that one?
I had a scrimmage like right before. I'm like, Mom, we gotta go to the Purdue game. She's like, no, like we could watch it on TV. Like it's all good. We go to the next one, and then he did that.
You should have told her, but he's gonna hit the game winner, man.
I wish I would have knew before. Wish I would have knew.
Errors of youth. All right, you'll get better, I'm sure. Tell me the first time you remember meeting Steve Pikiell.
Home visit. My brother's first ever home visit, his senior year. Him, Coach Pike and Coach Knight, they both came to the house to spend time, eat dinner with us. I remember we had this little basketball hoop in the basement. Coach Pike down there, playing with us, making jokes, stuff like that. So honestly, just had a great first time meeting him.
Was he already starting to recruit you back then?
He throws little jokes here and there, like he throws his little hints out, but it wasn't really hard recruiting until I got to high school.
Yeah. What do you remember about talking with him once you already had your brother on that team and you kind of got to know him a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, the main thing he always told me is that, he's not recruiting me just for my brother. He's recruiting me for me too, which was honestly special for me because he was just like, yeah, my brother had all this, but, we're here because of you. Like, we love your game and we see something very bright in you.
How are you different from your brother?
How am I different? I think we play two different roles on the court, but I think we're both similar in a way. I mean, I have the ball in my hands a lot in the game. He plays off the ball in the wing, but I think we're both great defenders. I think the best part about both of our games are IQ. We could really pass the ball, score the ball. We just make the right play always. But we're very different, but very similar at the same time.
What about personality-wise? How are you guys similar or different?
I think for me, I'm more like the quiet one, quiet one. He's more outgoing, obviously. Like, he loves doing, talks and stuff, camps and stuff. I'm more, quiet in the background. But, I think once you get to know me, I'm really talkative.
Yeah, but who's more handsome?
I mean, I'm going to say me.
There you go.
I'm not going to, but it's me for sure.
That was a layup, man. You kind of stuttered there for a second, but I knew you'd come through. Take me inside practice at Rutgers the last handful of weeks once things started to get serious. What has been the thing that Steve Pikiell has been saying to you guys again and again in practice?
I mean, just play for each other. I mean, the only way we're going to win is if we work hard in practice, go in there with a mindset that we got to get better each and every day and fix every mistake so we can be the best team possible and just play for each other because, you can't win a game with 1, 2, 3 guys. It got to be a whole collective group, plus the coaching staff. So that's been the main vocal point.
What about X and O-wise? What is he pushing more? Is it better passing? Is it better shooting? Is it getting to the line more?
I mean, it's honestly playing fundamental, playing the right way, making the right pass, the right read, just being unselfish is how we really want to play. And I think Coach Pikiell's really emphasized that all season.
I mentioned you're one of these two superstar freshmen alongside Ace Bailey. When was the first time you met Ace?
First time I met Ace, in person or on the phone?
Sure.
I mean, in person, I think it got to be I think the first time I met him was at Sharif Cooper camp, my sophomore year. He was there working the camp. That's the first time I met him. First time I seen him, I was like, man, he tall, because I've never seen him. So, look at him. He's 6'8", 6'9", lanky. He's just tall, just dang, I knew he was going to be special right there because, you just see the work ethic, everything he puts in. But the first time on the phone was, I think, his first visit sophomore year. One of the coaches called me, and we chopped it up from there. We got each other's number and just went up from there.
How do you describe his game?
The game, he could do it all, really. I mean, I think he's a very underrated passer, which people will see this year because, he gets the ball to people in the right time. But, he's a prolific scorer, shoots over anyone, sees no contest. That's one thing I've learned. He sees no contest. I think no one can stop him in college basketball. I think for him to play his game and just to be stay poised, I mean, he's probably one of the best players out here.
You mentioned that you're a little quieter than your brother. How are you and Ace similar or different personality-wise?
Ace is outgoing. He's always like he's the spotlight of the show every time, Every time he walks in, he lights a room up, He's going to make you laugh about 4 to 5 times in the span of like 10 minutes. So, I mean, just his energy, every time he walks in the room, he's going to put a smile on someone's face. So, I mean, that's the greatest thing about him.
Which one of you committed first to Rutgers?
He did. He committed like early sophomore year, like real early sophomore year or junior year, one of the two. Yeah. But I think he committed early, and he was pushing it ever since he committed.
I was going to say, how much was he pushing you? But it sounds like a lot.
He was calling me every day, but every time we were on the phone or text, it was more about just like, how's your day going, like regular conversation stuff, because like me and him really close. So I mean, it was more like brother talk more than like you got to come here. But that is like he's probably one of the main reasons why I really came here.
Mention your brother played at Rutgers. Your dad, of course, Ron Harper, played with those great Chicago Bulls teams back in the day. Give me the coolest memorabilia that your dad has in the house somewhere.
And them rings. Them 5 rings he got in the house is crazy. It's like, it's in a little line. You see from 1 to 5s, it's crazy, honestly. Them rings is crazy. They're heavy, like real diamond stuff. They shine, stuff like that. I remember being younger, just like trying to put one on, did not fit my finger, but I mean, that's probably the coolest thing. That was in the little trophy, the mini trophies everyone gets.
You ever sneak one? Just grab the ring for a day, stick it in your pocket, just walk around with it?
I've tried. Definitely tried. He wasn't going for it though. He know where his rings be at all the time. That's one thing about him. He gonna know where his rings at.
Yeah, I bet. One of the last things I want to talk to you about was when you played in the McDonald's All-American game, you were the co-MVP. You're surrounded by talent everywhere. What do you remember about what happened on that day? I
mean, I think our class, probably one of the most competitive classes out there. We weren't taking anything for granted. We all went out there with like a mindset of we're gonna try to win the game. Obviously we didn't win, but just the environment was great. I mean, that's such a prestigious game that you get to play in. Not everyone gets to play in it, but for the people that got selected, we're honestly just blessed.
Dylan, awesome to talk with you, man. Really appreciate it, and best of luck this freshman season there in Piscataway. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.